Let's talk about this at 8:12. Deteriorating conditions at Rikers Island prompting the Department of Corrections to take action. But the COBA union, which represents nearly 8,000 correction officers, says it is not nearly enough. Now, this comes as the investigation continues into the death of a 24-year-old inmate this week, making him the 9th inmate to die so far. This morning, we're getting answers straight from the top. We are joined by Corrections Commissioner Vincent Schiraldi. So good morning to you, Commissioner. Live, rare interview here. Good to have you. Thanks for making the time.
Thanks for having me, and we are actually from Rikers Island. This is where my office is.
Understood, Commissioner. So let me get right to it, because a federal report released late last month uncovered some serious security lapses and protocol failures, in addition to a lack of supervision, right? You said you watched PIX11 Morning News. You've seen us report on it. Could any of these issues have led to this latest death at Rikers Island?
Oh, I think there's no question that the issues that are raised by the monitor and the issues that I've just seen in the 3 months I've been here contribute to bad outcomes. Whether it exactly contributed to this death, there's still an investigation. But there are things happening here every day that are troubling that we're trying to fix. And those conditions that the monitor described, I agree with his reports. He's doing a good job of finding the bad stuff, and it's now my job to fix that stuff.
Yeah, you know, I have covered Rikers for quite some time, right? And I have often talked about the violence occurring inside and what exactly correction officers want to see. We've had the Correction Officers Union on a number of times who have said the mayor's office, the corrections department do not want to hire new staff. They're saying that the last time a correction officer was hired was in February of 2019. You're now hiring 600 new officers. Realistically, when would they actually be on the job?
It's 600 plus, so the new officers will be on the job probably at the beginning of 2022. But we're also calling back anybody who left within the last 4 years that was in good standing. That could be a retirement, that could be I left to have a baby, whatever. There's a lot of reasons people leave, and some of them are good employees. We're calling them back. We actually hired a telemarketer to call about 1,000 people who left during that period of time to ask them to come back. They come back. They only need 2 weeks of retraining. So that could be like mid-October.
So you're saying January, but we're talking about February of 2019 where there hasn't been a single correction officer hired. What was the length of, why was it such a length of time where there was a lapse in new hires?
It was before my time, but let me put it in a broader perspective for you. So when Mayor de Blasio started on January 1st, 2014, we had 11,000 people locked up here and 9,000 staff. Today, we have 6,000 people locked up here and 8,400 staff. So yeah, there was a decline in the number of staff by 600, but there was a 5,000 person decline in the number of people incarcerated. This isn't a do we have enough people employed here problem. It's a do we have enough people actually coming to work problem.
Right, and there have been a number of instances where you're saying correction officers are calling out sick, and that has led to officers working triple shifts here. But I want to just talk about that, right? Because there have been staffing shortages. They've been saying it for quite some time, that they're calling out sick because they're working triple shifts. On Sunday, according to the New York Post reporting, there were 33 guarded posts that were left unmanned by staff, and that 22 officers were working a triple shift just on Sunday alone. With those 600 new hires you're talking about, 600 plus, will that help with these triple shifts? And why were those places unmanned?
Yes, but yeah, well, they're touring, so you're watching 2 shifts, which is not appropriate and not good. So I don't disagree with everything the union says. I agree with most of what they say. I just don't think hiring more people is the answer to every bit of the problem. So yes, hiring 600 people would help. What would also help if the third of my staff who are not at work, some of whom are sick and need to get better and stay home, and some of whom are not sick and need to come to work, would come to work. And I think it's important that there's, not to paint with too broad a brush, like some people came in every day during the pandemic, even though they knew they might work triples. And they're absolute heroes. Some people just are sick and they need to get better. But some people are not sick and they need to come to work.
So, but what can be done now, Commissioner, right? People are dying. Inmates are dying. 9 deaths in 1 year. That's alarming. 33 guarded posts unmanned. Is that concerning to you? What can be done to fix that now?
Oh, absolutely concerning. So one thing we did is we looked at what NYPD and the fire department do, both of whom have unlimited sick leave like we do. And what they do is they require you to go to their own departmental doctor before you can be considered out sick. We instituted that a month ago, and when we did, there was a 2/3 decline in the number of people calling in sick. So that was step one. Now we got to ratchet it up a little better so that people aren't out quite as long sick. Because those people, when you ask when will new people come, the old people could come in faster than any of the new people. And so that's what priority number one is just get people to come back to work. And I'm teaching people to come back to work if they're not sick.
Commissioner, I only have 20 seconds here left. I don't know if you can answer this in 20 seconds here, but what if they don't come back to work and the sick outs continue? Is there a penalty or a punishment holding people accountable for not coming in?
Yeah, although I don't think we punish our way out of this problem, people do have to be disciplined. And yes, we're going to discipline them if they don't come to work. There's a whole series of cascading disciplines that we'll start to initiate. Really, first, I want to just ask people, come back, relieve your fellow workers. They need your help. And that's, if I could give any message, and I do give that message, and lots of the workers that are in thank me for it. So that's really message number one. But we are hiring. We are getting people to come back to work.
Okay.
We're starting up programs again. It'll be a good place to work.
Commissioner Schiraldi, I appreciate you making the time for us this morning in a rare live interview. We'd love to have you back and continue these conversations. It's an issue we want to pay close attention to.
I'd love to have you come out here and sit in this office and take a walk around with me one day.
You have my word. I will be out there. We'll talk offline about that, okay, sir?
Thanks a lot. Nice seeing you.
Nice to see you as well. Thank you.